Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about my laser eyes. So you might have noticed in the recent videos I haven't been wearing my glasses, and it's because I don't have to anymore. I got corrective surgery for my eyes, and while we were sitting around with our sort of weekly video brainstorming session, I was saying to Dawn, I was like, it feels really disingenuous to not want to talk about what has been the largest change in my life recently, and that's the fact that I don't have to wear glasses and I can see. It's had a huge impact for the 2 weeks that I've had it done, and it felt weird to not talk about that. So that's just kind of what this video is about. It's nothing super geeky or niche for our community, but it's something that, just is going on in my life. And a bunch of you seem to kind of like that stuff when we just have videos like these. So anyway, I got glasses when I was 12 years old. I noticed that I was having headaches in class and I was having a hard time seeing, but it was so gradual. It's not like I really knew what was going on. So I got I got glasses, and then I started wearing contacts not until I think my senior year of high school. I had a really hard time wanting to put them into my eyes, and so I held off with contacts for a long time. And I wore contacts as much as possible almost throughout the entirety of undergrad and grad school. But once I got out of grad school, I ended up starting wearing my glasses a lot more. My prescription was getting bad enough. I had pretty bad astigmatism that my contacts just weren't cutting it, and so I had my glasses. But I finally decided that I wanted to save up and I wanted to get corrective surgery. It's something that I'd always thought about, and I finally decided to go ahead and do it. Hey, maybe you're thinking about it. Maybe that's something that's crossed your mind, and hopefully this video will help you decide one way or the other. Is it worth it and all that kind of stuff. Price-wise, it was about $3,500, so it's certainly not cheap. It's not a cheap thing. The procedure I got is called PRK. I wasn't a candidate for LASIK. My astigmatism was too bad. But they also, because of the work that I do with stunts and fight choreography, and I like to play sports and all that kind of stuff. That's another reason why they said that was something I should go for. I guess it's a little bit more stable, especially if you get bumped and knocked around. So I don't know if you're thinking of LASIK or some sort of corrective surgery. Maybe that's something to keep in mind. As far as like how I felt going into it, I did get pretty nervous. I had a lot of anxiety around it. They're shooting lasers into your eye, and there's only so many science fiction horror movies you can watch before you're a little tiny bit 0.001% terrified. Well, what if the laser's tuned up too high and it blasts a hole through the back of my head? I had that legitimate fear. Maybe not a legitimate fear, but it flashed in my brain. Overall, the procedure was pretty cool. On the day, if you're wondering what it's like, on the day I went in, they checked my vision again. Just to, triple, quadruple check the prescription, like what it is that they needed to fix. And they gave me a very small amount of Valium to help calm down. And there was a lot of prep work in terms of like getting some prescriptions and things like that ahead of time. Dawn had to take me there because I wasn't able to see afterwards. Everything was very, very blurry. But the procedure in and of itself took maybe 5 minutes total. I was laying on a big operating bed, and this very sci-fi looking machine was over my face, and they do put something in your eye that holds your eyeball open. It's a little Clockwork Orange, if you've seen that scene. Not going to lie, but you've got numbing drops and things like that, so you can't feel any of it. And then there's just a green and red light that they tell you to focus on. And the part that If you're weird about stuff with your eyes, this might maybe sound a little weird. It's actually making me tear up a little bit just thinking about it again. It kind of looks like an electric toothbrush with the spinny head, and they put that on your eyeball, and it kind of shaves down, buffs down, shaves off a part of your cornea. Yeah, it's getting to me a little bit. If you're cringing with this one, I apologize. And then this laser blast happens. Takes a few seconds. They drop a bunch of really cold water into your eyes, or saline or something like that. And then they switched over, and then they did the second eyeball. Took 5 minutes total. After that, I actually could see pretty well immediately after for about like 5 or 10 minutes. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting to me, kind of remembering it. Sorry. All right. Okay, back. Better. For about 5 or 10 minutes afterwards, I could see pretty clearly. And then, I got some very dark not prescription glasses, very dark glasses, UV resistant, polarized, all that kind of stuff. And they gave me some painkillers and told me to head home. Dawn and I went and got lunch. This was not the kind where I could, go directly to work the next day. Dawn and I went and grabbed some lunch. We went home, and I took my pain meds. And basically, I spent 2 days in bed. It was either completely, almost completely in the dark, or I had eye masks, or even just a bandana tied over my eyes, so that I didn't have to like hold them closed. I could relax my muscles and my eyes wouldn't open up. And then every so many hours I took pain meds again. And there were about 2 days where I kind of don't really remember a lot of what happened. I made my way through the first Warhammer novel of the Horus Heresy. I remember most of that one, listening to it on audiobook. And I also listened to a number of podcasts and things like that. I got to catch up on some of those. A number of people, you gave me some suggestions of what to listen to, and that was really awesome. The stuff I didn't get to is definitely in the rotation for our road trip to Gen Con. After about a week, I got progressively better. My left eye started to clear up faster than my right. There was a lot of irritation. It felt dry and scratchy, like if you've ever had your contact fold while it's in, or if you've ever gotten like sand in your eyes. It's not comfortable. It wasn't really painful, but it was very uncomfortable for about a week. I'm not going to lie. After a week, I went back in, and they had these really, really large, almost full sclera contact lenses that they had given me, kind of like as bandages. They took those off. That was one of the weirdest sensations. You could kind of feel it peeling off of the eyeball. So that was weird. But once those were off, after a couple of hours, my eyes had stopped watering, because they were watering almost constantly the first week, and they stopped being irritated. It's been a little over 2 weeks now since I had the surgery, and my vision isn't absolutely perfect. It's pretty close to 20/20, and the doctors are telling me that they think it'll probably be closer to 2010 or 2015 once it's completely healed. And the healing takes about 6 months total. But I'm driving. I'm back to work. I can read. I can paint. I'm painting up my Thousand Suns army. 1 week after I had the surgery. It was pretty great. And then a good friend of ours gave us tickets to go see Stuber. So after getting my eye surgery, I went and watched a really good comedy about Batista having just had eye surgery. So that was a lot of fun too. But that's what it's been like. It's interesting. I've never been able to just wake up and see before. And for all of you who don't have myopia or anything like that, you're very lucky. It's weird to not have to do anything in the morning to be able to see. But it feels kind of like a superpower to me, because I haven't had that in over 2 decades. It feels like an upgrade. It feels like Shadowrun. I upgraded my eyes to a better version. That's really what it feels like. It's been a little silly. Every once in a while, I do catch myself doing this. I'm going to try to pull glasses off that aren't there. And just a couple of times I've nudged the bridge of my nose going to push up my glasses that aren't on. But It was uncomfortable and it was expensive, but it's something I would absolutely do again. And the fact that it feels like I got to upgrade myself is pretty cool. So yeah, there you go. That was my experience getting corrective surgery. It's kind of the biggest thing going on for me right now, and I thought it would be, I don't know, I figured I would just go ahead and tell you about it and what was my experience like and all of that. I don't know, have you had it done? Did you have a different procedure? What was it like for you? Did you have like the LASIK stuff where you were able to go in and get it done, and then later that night you went out to the movies and it was completely fine? You went straight back to work. That sounds really cool. Like, to me, that's even more science fiction. You just go in, get blasted, and go right back to work. That's really cool. And if you're thinking about it or anything like that, I'm happy to answer any other questions. It's really weird. They sent me home with a video of my surgery, and I could watch what they were doing to my eyeball. I couldn't watch it. I got about 20 seconds in and I had to turn it off. It was too weird. If you're thinking of getting it done, I would very much suggest don't look up a video of the procedure. Everyone I know that had it done told me don't give in to that curiosity. It's just going to freak you out even more. But if you're thinking of having it done, if you're nervous about it or anything like that, I'll tell you, it was so easy. It was super simple. And I love the fact that I had it done. A big thanks to all of our patrons, especially to Sean. If you want to support our channel, you can head over to our Patreon page and check out the perks of being a patron. So that was my experience getting my eyes lasered. I hope you liked this video. Wasn't really necessarily geeky, but it's just what's going on in my life. So until next time, I'm Ryan, and this is Roll for Initiative.